Today I'll be showing an anti-spam Scarab deck, which is both a tongue twister and an effective deck for all the Mirage spam that you see on ladder today. This is also a good deck against kind of traditional heroes like Volt and John Bow, and heavier decks that have Pyro Tank and Heavy Tank, but then also does really well with Cryo Turret to slow down oncoming waves of units. This match is against Lynx 3. Really great player, really great Mirage player as well, so I've got to play this pretty much perfectly to win, and even if I do play perfectly, it's not really a guarantee to win. Scarab against Mirage in these spam decks, you're just at a disadvantage. It's just a matchup disadvantage. You can still play well and pull out wins, but just realize that you are not favored in this match. The way that I approach these games is you're gonna let them get a little bit of tower damage, and they're just gonna get it even if you try to defend everything, right? But the key is to not over defend, and if you're gonna lose a tower, you're gonna lose a tower. But what you want to do is try to take their tower before they take yours. Unfortunately, in this match, he almost takes my tower completely before I do any damage on his tower. So that's not really the situation you want to be in as the Scarab player. So I end up having to make a play a lot later than I really would have liked to. So here, the tower is already pretty much down to half power. He's got Fury on top of Pyro. I want to absorb some of that damage, but I don't want to take too much, because a huge part of these matchups, not only in this kind of matchup, but just the game in general, is health pack management. So you need to make sure that your health bar is topped off, and that you're making or taking advantage of that 20 second cooldown for your health packs. So I recognize that I have to make a play. I go ahead with that Pyro Tank still up, even though he was pretty severely damaged at that point. I use Adrenaline, I quickly take down that tower, and then I retreat. Now, this right tower is almost going to act like a bait tower, kind of, for the rest of the match. If he really wants it and he plays a bunch of power, he can take it. But I'm going to make him work for it. And he pushes up here with Pyro Tank, so I defend with Tesla Troopers. He may have been able to shoot the tower directly and take it down, but he shoots... Is he shooting me or the cryo turret? I couldn't really tell there. But, and I think my tower only took maybe 5 shots from a Mirage. So he plays Fat Boy here. I defend with airstrikes that he has to, again, like, keep investing power into this right lane. So the more power he puts into the right lane, it's the less power that he has for the left lane. So I am opened up to make a play here. So he plays Pyro Tank, and I'm going to defend this. And then after this is where I decide to go in. So he's going to push up and take down this right tower. I recognize this is probably my only chance to really close this out with 20 seconds remaining. I take one shot from the mortar. He throws down a ton of spam on top of me, and then I take that all out with airstrike, but they still did some damage before I was able to get airstrike off. I take the tower down, and then there's 10 seconds left, so there's not really anything that he can do at this point to win the match. The reason that I included this replay and not another one that was an easier win, even though I might just include something like that at the end of this video, is because a lot of these matches against good players come down to like a second or two gap where you have to make a decision and make a play happen. It wasn't really guaranteed that I was going to win that, but I just had to take a calculated risk to when I knew my cycle was favorable and his was not as favorable. Again, I could have still lost that, but you have to be able to make decisions like that to kind of gamble almost, but a safe gamble to win games. Okay, we got a naughty boy alert here. DJ Bass Plater just always throwing down the emotes. He loves to rub it in. That's pretty high level troops, but I managed to pull one out here. So this is against Hellbrand. You don't see Hellbrand too often on ladder, but I guess it's usually people doing season quest type things, maybe. I don't know. But here, it's just like kind of a typical match. I'm going to throw Pyro Tank down, I'm going to take a tower, and then I'm going to pull back. He has pretty high level cards. I mean, these are like 2 levels from max. So these are like, to chew through a level 18 bunker, it takes forever. But luckily in this match, the only counter that I think I remember that he has to helicopter is Toxic Bomb. I always forget the name of the cards in this game. But so yeah, that's like kind of a good upside for me. And I guess technically Rocketeers, but they'll die to helicopter, or yeah, if helicopter attacks them. So you know, just kind of defending this tower. He's going to push up because he's got a ton of health, and he's, you know, got high-level troops, so he can kind of do whatever he wants. But I'm not too worried about this. As long as he doesn't get in a power generator, like, advantage, like, as long as he doesn't get 2 or 3 down at one time, then I kind of feel good about things. So I go ahead and do the same thing. Push up behind your pyro tank. That's your bread and butter. Pyro tank and adrenaline. You know, if they don't have much to stop you. And so at this point, I'm just going to try to defend. I don't really care about the right tower. I figure that that's going to die. So I don't want to overcommit on defense on that. I just want to protect this left tower. So use airstrike on the Rocketeers. And he's just standing there. He has like nothing to do. He has nothing to deal with this helicopter. He's got technically flying saucer, I guess, but it does absolutely no damage at all. So I'm not too worried here. And so I throw down a little laughing emote. He likes to lay him on when he's winning, but if he's not winning, he's kind of silent. So anyways, we're just gonna, I figure that if I can put pressure on him with the pyro tank and the helicopter, there's not much that he can do, and he has to like kind of keep wasting power to defend those helicopters. So again, I got 2 helicopters on the field now. He's just kind of taking this passive damage. He's got a lot of HP, so he doesn't have too much to worry about, I guess, but it is nice to have that constant damage on him. Then there is a play that I want to point out that I made that was terrible. I think it was right here. Yeah, I play airstrike on these, and then the helicopter locks on. I just wasted 3 power. So that's kind of a good lesson. Don't waste power, especially in this situation. If I wanted to get a 3-star, I kind of need to make sure that I'm making good decisions where I'm playing power. I could have used that 3 power somewhere else to put more pressure on him. Against Hellbrand, I'm probably not going to get the 3-star, but maybe against like a John Bow or a Mirage or something like that, then I will use that power a little bit more smartly, I hope. This match is going to go kind of quick when I start the replay. So the point of this is to show when your opponent overcommits and they likely don't have good counters against you, that's when you should really try to exploit that situation with Scarab to close a match early. So I'm going to start this. He's playing Commando. A lot of the time Commandos play with Fury and Adrenaline and a bunch of like quick cycle cards so they can keep getting back to those spells. And that's exactly what he does here. He throws on Adrenaline with Sky Captain. I take that out with Thunder Zap, and then he's going to come right back in for something else. So he throws down Rifleman and then Fury. And so at this point, I'm thinking, well, first of all, my tower's down, so I need to do something. But I'm thinking he probably doesn't have a lot to deal with me. He's probably kind of low on power. So I throw down my Adrenaline. I walk to the edge of Adrenaline. I'm going to back this up a little bit so that you can see. You see, I throw Adrenaline kind of at the feet, at like the feet of my Scarab. And then I walk completely across Adrenaline. And then I lock onto him, and he's at that point, he's pretty low health, and he dies. So that's a really good technique whenever you're using Scarab. Don't think of Adrenaline as a spell you want to place right on top of your heroes or your units or whatever. Almost think of it as like a buff to the ground, so that like whenever you walk across it, you're walking across the entirety of that Adrenaline, because Scarab, once they break the lock of Scarab, you're going to reset your damage and you have to ramp back up. So you want to walk completely across to it to anchor yourself, to close that distance against the other hero, and then lock on so they have to keep running away from you. So that's a really important tip, and that's what allowed me to win this match. So continuing the theme of gambling from the last explanation, I kind of do that in this match. Von Boom versus Scarab actually might be one of my favorite matchups in the game, because you've got these 2 huge damage potentials that work differently. You've got Von Boom, who does significant damage every, was it 5.5 seconds, I think is a cooldown on his attack. And then you've got Scarab, who can do significant damage, but it takes a while to ramp up. And so it's like you've got these 2 similar but also pretty different damage styles. So it's pretty fun to play. And it's more kind of like a chess match, I think, than maybe the Mirage spam matches are. Honestly, the Mirage spam stuff is just kind of getting old to me. It's like, it's not that fun to play against. But the Von Boom stuff, I always enjoy when I see this. And then you've really got to be careful, though, because they usually carry Fury. and I mean, you will get absolutely wrecked. On top of usually grenadiers and like mortars and stuff. There's a lot of Von Boom players that play really, really defensively. So these kind of matchups it's almost like threading the needle. You just need to find kind of that gap, again, that small time gap to where you've got them in more of an awkward cycle and you're able to throw down your adrenaline and then hopefully close out the match. So yeah, like I said, huge damage potential. I'm already down to 580-ish health there, and then I've got to wait another health pack before I can really push in, because I'm already at like 75% health still. So you know, a lot of this is kind of like a waiting match, and you're just it's one who's gonna like make the first move is kind of what it comes down to. But the way he's playing is he'll push up and kind of threaten a shot on my tower, but then he'll pull back because he doesn't want to die by, you know, getting caught by Tesla troopers and adrenaline or something like that. But he pulls back here, and you know, at this point, I think this might be a good opportunity to push in, and that's what I do. So I'm going to back this up so I can show this, because there's a lot going on. So I knew that he was down Tesla troopers here, but he's also like not too far away from them. But I've got a pretty much full health pyro tank here. So I say, all right, this is it. I'm going in, but I'm not going for the tower. I'm going for Von Boom. So I get out of the way of the airstrike there. He plays Sky Captain onto me, which is almost spawned in all the way. And I'm pretty low on health, if you see there. But I threw down adrenaline. I'm still locked on. And then by the time EMP lands, I've already killed him. So that was a super, super tight match. But it kind of shows you that you have to be confident in whenever you commit to something, you might as well just go for it. At that point, there was no pulling back for me. So yeah, that's always a fun one.